Every week, it's a mad dash to save the pets.
Yeah, other people's pets, which because of abuse or neglect, end up at Houston's Animal Pound.
Ned Hibberd is here now to show us what happens behind the scenes. Ned.
Yeah, just for an example, yesterday the deadline was 5 p.m. for 9 dogs that had overstayed their welcome at an overcrowded facility, but there is a small, dedicated group of volunteers working to save as many as possible. You've probably heard puppies are easy to adopt out and rarely put down. These 4, if they could talk, might tell you different.
My understanding is that they were within a half an hour of euthanasia.
Every week and more often when the shelter's full, Bark, Houston's Animal Pound, sends out a list of animals that have been there for 30 days or more. For those cats and dogs, the clock is ticking. Lately, volunteers have been rescuing some of them from Bark and working to adopt them out at local pet stores.
What we have found, surprisingly, since October, is that many of these animals that have spent the 30 days in the main shelter, once we get them out into the community venues, they're being adopted.
It's an effort that takes lots of crates.
This is the glamorous part. This is the glamorous part.
But volunteer Tim A. Bear is taking things to the next level. Earlier this month, he found a used animal control van up for auction.
I got online and bid on the auction at the end, I said, woohoo, won. And then a few minutes later, I thought, woo, a one is in Lincoln, Nebraska.
A Bear flew to Lincoln and drove it back. And he hasn't stopped driving since. You see, while Houston's problem is pet overpopulation, Colorado is wanting for dogs. Big dogs. Rescue dogs.
Interesting thing, most of the dogs we take or send to Colorado are adopted before they get there.
Tim likes to say when you adopt from Bark, you're actually saving 2 lives. The dog or cat you take home and the animal that won't be put down because there's now 1 more space. But Houston has an endless supply of animals whose owners can't or won't take care of them. Which means the work of volunteers like Tim A. Bear is never complete. Here's a question he gets a lot.
How can you possibly do it? Keep going to a shelter when you know some of them aren't going to survive. My question is, how can you not?
And how can you say no to that face, huh? Those puppies will doubtless be the star attractions at this weekend's off-site adoption events. Check our Seen on TV page for times and locations. For animals that were at Bark over 30 days, the adoption fee is just $20 with a bunch of freebies thrown in just to sweeten the pot.